I'm so happy to speak to you today.
I had a discipline of at least opening my book every day. If nothing, then I know that what is there inside, I will be able to plan better. So a day in my life would look like that, running to office in the morning and trying to wind up early to study in the evening.
Hi Bhumika, I'm so happy to speak to you today because I want to share your journey of commitment, courage and perseverance with so many students, so many working professionals that are starting off. I think I've known you for more than 10 years now as a student, and right from your grade 11 and 12 days to your CA days to finishing your ACCA and now working with Incorp as an investment banker. It's been quite a journey, and I wanted to share your experiences with so many students. So what was your commerce journey like?
So firstly, thank you for providing me this opportunity to put across my entire journey. So my journey started when I was starting for my grade 11 and grade 12 under your guidance. And back then, post grade 12, there were limited options that we could see in commerce as a student, and that's when I chose CA because I always wanted to do something in the field of accounts and finance in a long run, which would help me grow at a good scale in life.
Yeah.
I started with my CA journey back then when I was studying in grade 12 itself. I gave my CPT at that time, and post that I also gave my CA inter, and I qualified till my CA final. At that time, in those days, there were a lot of global courses which people were speaking about. So
And
it was
this
more
must
of
be back in 2019, 2018, 2019. I remember, doing a lot of road shows and seminars happening in colleges about the newer courses and the global courses.
correct. So
Yes.
that was at the time. At that time, a lot of people were talking about CPA, CFA, ACCA, and all of those were not at the time when we were choosing our career option. And at that point of time, CA was a elongated course where you have to do your 3 years of articleship. So when at that point of time I came across these courses, I researched a lot about them. And while I was pursuing for my CA final, through you I came across ACCA, and I felt that I resonated with the curriculum even more.
Yeah.
And I thought that that will be a good addition and a better. I wanted to reach at my goal at a faster speed. So I chose ACCA and I switched to ACCA. And
So you completed your CA inter,
yeah,
and then you paused with CA final, and then you started doing the ACCA exams.
correct.
Okay. And if I'm not wrong, you were also working alongside, right?
Correct.
How easy or difficult was that experience?
It is never easy to do two things simultaneously. So I was working and I was also studying at the same time. So a day in my life would look like that. I was running to office in the morning and trying to wind up early to study in the evening. But I think at that point of time, the place where you work and the people whom you are with makes a lot of difference.
That's a supportive work.
Yeah, the supportive work culture, and especially in terms of how they also are aligned with your ambition, that they want to make your dream as their dream as well.
It was very supportive throughout. Your colleagues and
Definitely.
your mentors have been very supportive
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
So tell me, Bhumika, having completed your CA inter, how many years do you take to finish your ACCA?
So I only took 1 year, 3 months to finish my ACCA. Given CA inter, I was exempted for, and also given my CA final, I was exempted from 8 papers of ACCA, and I gave 5 of them.
So traditionally you do 13 papers of ACCA, but you were exempted from
8 of them.
8 of them. So you
And I-
ended up doing 5.
5.
And you did this in a span of how
1
many
year,
years?
3 months.
Wonderful. So you were giving one paper every quarter.
I made it a point that I would not miss an attempt. And every 3 months there is one exam which ACCA conducts, and I was sure that at least I want to give one paper, because with work, more than one paper would be highly ambitious.
Yes. But I think that persistence and the discipline of doing one paper a quarter is very important, because I think that keeps you going, and it is possible with work if you plan it
Yes.
well. Is what I want to tell all students and working professionals out
So
there.
and at the same time, your discipline, your commitment, as well as a supportive work culture, along with good seniors, good mentors to help you. Especially, I think I was lucky enough to have synthesis learning as my as my coach, I was able to get all the content, even if I was not able to attend physical lectures. But I made sure that I'm in sync with what is going on in the classes. The content I was reading up to the mark, and that was possible because I had support from my office, that is Info. And
So if I have to ask you, if you have to break the 24 hours, did you have a discipline of putting that 60 minutes or maybe 1.5 hours or 2 hours of time daily? Were you able to do that?
So more towards the weekend, because I had a discipline of at least opening my book every day.
Okay.
I had a discipline that 1 hour at least I have to sit with my book. If nothing, then I know that what is there inside.
Yeah.
I will be able to plan better what I need to do, how I need to do, which practice questions do I need to look at, which papers I need to look at, how many days leave I will need.
Require.
Yeah.
And you need to also bring your employer in confidence,
Yes.
because they have to know that you are going to need some leaves.
Correct.
But I think on the other hand, what you will gain and what you will be able to add value to the organization is immense. And I think once you win that confidence, I think they all help you create that environment,
Definitely.
isn't it? So I think it's possible. That's why I said it's a journey of a lot of persistence and a lot of courage. Another thing I want to ask you, Bhumika, is as you started doing each of these ACCA papers, right? I think strategic business leader, strategic business reporting, financial management. How were you able to correlate what you were studying in your textbooks with what you were doing, let's say, as an investment banker at work?
So every paper was very different. Every paper taught you something, especially at the professional level. Every paper was a new challenge that was going to come in front of you when you don't know that how to tackle that. So first, I think I should thank you first for helping me and for giving me a heads up regarding how do I approach the paper. And after that, I feel it was a mix that I was able to correlate what I was studying and what I was seeing in my day-to-day life in terms of my work, and vice versa. That when I was working, I was able to apply my knowledge, what I was reading through my books, and at the time while I was studying, I was able to apply my experience and I just put it on paper.
One of the sessions you in fact told me that I was sitting with a client and I had to negotiate a term sheet, and I remember you mentioning to me that just an evening back, I was doing a case study in, I think, the advanced financial management paper, if I'm not wrong, and it was an entire case on negotiating and putting your points out. And I remember you said I was reading a question last evening, but when I went back to my workplace the other day and when I was faced with a very similar scenario, I had a framework in mind that I was able to apply.
Okay.
And I think that is something very interesting when you're working and studying together.
So it helped me put across and see the entire situation in a particular framework where what is the problem and what is the solution that I can provide and how can I break my solution. That's how we write a paper, and that's how we even approach a client. That how can you provide your solutions in an effective way.
Bhumika, I'm very curious to know how was the experience of writing online exams. In India, traditionally, we don't do exams on the computer, right? I think the whole focus is on handwriting, a lot of emphasis on memory, emphasis on length of the answer, which is now passé, right? We're in the world of spreadsheets, AI, robotics. I think the machine takes over. But you see, the machine stops somewhere. That's where human intelligence starts to kick in. So, how was the experience of doing an online exam?
So it was far more wonderful than writing and
I'm sure.
sweating in a physical paper and pen exam.
Okay.
One thing it was that it was a bit more convenient that you know that you don't have to rush to the center and get into the line and everything. But along with that, when you're writing the paper, you know that you're not going to be assessed on your handwriting or your presentation, or for 2 marks you need to write for 4 points. For you don't have to get into those integrities. You just have to stick to your basics. You have to stick to your knowledge, and you will be assessed only on your knowledge.
Correct.
There is no substitute to knowledge. That's what we've learned.
Interesting. And one fine thing is when, as an investment banker, when you get to your work, when you're meeting your clients, when you're at the back, when you're crunching numbers, when you're putting your analysis out. If I have to ask you, what are those top 3-4 skills you feel ACCA has left you with, and that's probably going to help you have a sought after or cutting edge career? Like, what are those 3-4 skills you really value that ACCA has left you with?
So it's helped me in a lot of ways. I think a few skills which I can specifically think that I've developed in recent time is my ability to make decisions, or my ability to articulate complex things in a better way, or you can say how would you present a particular situation in front of a client, or in terms of my even negotiation. All of those skills have helped me to grow not just professionally but personally as well. And I think a lot of these, I would love to thank Synthesis Learning for this, as well as Mr. Inderpreet Singh Chadha, who is the head of investment banking, who has helped me grow professionally, as well as our country head of INCORP India, Mr. Manish Modi, to be so supportive of my ACCA as well as my journey as an investment banker.
So I want to wish you good luck on behalf of Synthesis Learning. I think you're having a great career with INCORP, which is an ACCA
Yes,
employer.
it is an
And
ACCA.
I can just wish you a lot of luck on it.
Thank you.